mistletoe. They're decorating the Christmas tree with a star up top.
Hey everybody, welcome back. So today we're doing my third Christmas movie inspired build, and as you might have noticed, all my Christmas builds for this year are going to be movie inspired. So this one is another one, and it's inspired by the movie The Family Stone. Or like, inspired isn't actually true, like it is the actual home, or it's supposed to be the actual home of the family stone from the movie The Family Stone, you know? So anyway, I recently rewatched the movie, and it is one of my absolute all-time favorite Christmas movies ever, and I absolutely love it. It's just so funny, and it's so wholesome, and so charming and Christmassy, and just gives you like this warm feeling inside. I just absolutely love it. I will say though, I noticed rewatching it now, I kind of like secretly hate the Family Stone just a little bit, you know? It's just, I mean, I don't hate them obviously, but you know, they're kind of like this family who kind of claims to be like super open and super like, I don't know, yeah, just like open-minded and non-judgmental and that kind of stuff. But when Meredith comes in, they're like anything but open-minded towards her. You know what I mean? They're like, they are open-minded towards people that are like them, you know, and everyone else who maybe a bit more like stuck up, or a bit more even just like a little bit uptight, they're just not open for those kind of people at all. So yeah, I just kind of noticed that watching that video, that film again now. And however, you know, they will, in the end, they even say like, we're not that great, you know, they kind of know that this is all, you know, they're just like everybody else. And so yeah, they're obviously kind of cool, you know. It's a great movie, and their house is just so beautiful. Like every house I built so far, it's the same for everyone, for every one of those. It's in the beginning, I'm just like, you know, it does look kind of boring, you know, it's not like anything super interesting, especially on the exterior, but once you really dive into it and you really just like look at all the details, and I mean, you know, also you kind of have to keep in mind when building in The Sims, you know, when I don't build off of reference, or if I build something like more fantasy, fairy tale themed kind of stuff, I'm pretty much unlimited, especially using tool mod, because, you know, that allows you to do kind of like everything you want, you know, anything you want, you can kind of do it almost. And it's just not like that in reality, you know. If you look at like normal real life houses, they just don't look like that, because it's just not possible, you know. So I think I kind of shifted my viewpoint a little bit on houses, or on what I find beautiful in houses, or kind of, yeah, just like looking good in a house, because, you know, I kind of realized, you know, we're kind of limited in reality. So you have to kind of work with what you can do, you know. So this house, like especially the interior, again, it's absolutely gorgeous. It's a huge house, by the way. Like, this took me forever to finish. If you check like the community tab, or if you follow me on Instagram, which you should if you don't, you would know that finishing the interior of this house took me days. I spent one day just working on one room, just one. And that is a long time, you know, but I will tell you more about that when we get to the interior. So the exterior is actually super pretty. Like, it's very plain if you just look at it, but yeah, because it's white, you know, it's all kind of white, especially, I mean, it's set in winter, so everything is kind of white anyway. So, you know, even the roof, because it's covered in snow and all that kind of stuff. But they do have the black shutters, which I think is gorgeous, like the contrast, the stark contrast of black and white. And then they also have the red door. So I just think that's a lovely detail. And they have a lot of like detailing around the roof, which I tried to kind of accomplish by using tool mod. And I just placed like a bunch of shelving around the roof, or like the exterior walls beneath the roof, to kind of make it look like, you know, there's this I don't know if that's like, if you call it molding on the exterior as well, like kind of like a crown molding kind of situation, you know? So I did that everywhere, even on the porch, like around the porch, which was a bit of a challenge, to be honest, because you don't have walls where you can like attach like shelves or anything to. So you kind of have to not freelance, you kind of have to like freely place everything, which is a bit more challenging, but I managed to do it in the end. However, I wasn't quite able to place the detailing everywhere because I think it's because of the roofing. Because, you know, sometimes it happens that we get this weird shadow, you know, these weird shadows in The Sims. I think that's mainly because there's just some sort of clipping due to like an upper story or like a roof that kind of is over top of the items that you want to place. And for that reason, I, especially on the left side of the house, if you look at it from the front, I didn't place it because, or I did, and I saw that they just have this weird shadow, so I just deleted it. And I mean, in the front, everything is there, so you wouldn't really notice, I don't think. If I didn't tell you, you probably wouldn't notice. So anyway, yeah, so that's what I'm doing right now, like working on the, like around the porch. And I did actually use two different types of shells, I think, and I think they're both base game. And then I also use these, I have no idea what they're called. But yeah, you can see me working on it here, and I'm actually super happy with how that turned out. The thing is, you know, with this house, it is like that when you see the house in reality, and it's the same in The Sims. If you look at it, at first it doesn't look like much, you know. You're like, okay, yeah, it's a white house, you know, it's a big house, it's a family home. And that's kind of it, you know, but if you look closely, you will see like all the little details and everything that's like, that wouldn't typically be there, especially in The Sims, you know. You wouldn't, well, we just don't have detailing like that, you know, you can't really put that there. You have to do it like freely, and yeah, that's what I did. Oh, and one other thing, I think I have never ever done that before, but I did finish for this house, I did finish the whole exterior first. So even everything, the landscaping, the terrain, I even created this little like driveway that they have. I don't know exactly if it's like a driveway, but they have this kind of circular, almost like a roundabout situation in front of the house. And I actually even included the little swing. There's a swing hanging from one of the trees at the right, right from the house. And I finished everything. All of that I finished before going inside of the house. And I don't think I've ever done that ever before. So yeah, I honestly don't know why I did that, but I kind of felt like, yeah, I kind of felt like it. I don't know. The landscaping was a lot of fun. It's very wild, kind of. I mean, that's the thing, again, like with the other houses, you can't really see much because everything's covered in snow, so I kind of had to like wing it a little bit, but it did look fairly wild, like not a English garden kind of landscaping where everything's like set in place, and I love that kind of landscaping, so I had a lot of fun working on that, and it actually was fairly like chill, you know, because, you know, usually the interior for me is quite stressful because I'm just such a maniac when it comes to like making everything look perfect, and especially when I'm like working on a build that actually exists or that is like known from a movie or whatever. I'm just like absolutely crazy about making everything as perfect as possible, which I do need to work on that, but yeah, but by the time I finish the interior, I'm usually like exhausted, you know, it's like, oh, I'm ready to like call it a day, you know, and then most of the time I just have to go back and finish the landscaping, and I mean, I love landscaping, which is why I keep it usually for the end, because there's something to look forward to, but for this, like for these builds, it's just, you know, it's a lot, and I'm actually quite happy that I did that, because, you know, I knew okay, I just have to do like 2 more rooms and then I'm done. You know, everything's done. I don't have to. It's also another thing, you kind of have to switch from interior to exterior again. It's, I don't know if you know what I mean, but it's a different kind of thinking, if that makes sense. You know, it's yeah, you just and also like you work with a different catalog. You know, in The Sims we have the exterior stuff and landscaping and that kind of stuff, and then we have the furnishing, which is like a whole different thing. So yeah, it actually was quite chill doing it that way, and I'm really happy that I did. And I do love how the landscaping turned out in the end. So yeah, I should be done with the landscaping in a minute here, and then I'll go into the kitchen first. And the kitchen, the kitchen is huge. Like, even, I mean, I always kind of say that, but in this case, it really is true. Like I said, I did rewatch the movie. I even, while building, checked back on some of the scenes to see, because they do show a lot of the rooms in the movie. They show the kitchen, the den, the living room, the dining room, even like they have a little kind of telephone nook, you know, underneath the stairs. They show that. They show like the powder room. They show Everett's room, they show Ben's room, they show the master bedroom, they show a bathroom, I don't know which one, and they show Amy's room. So the only rooms that we don't really see are Susanna's room, which I included as well because I assume she also has a room, and like bathrooms, like other bathrooms, and that's kind of it. Like everything else we do see in the movie. So I mean, that was kind of like a blessing and curse at the same time, because, you know, I was able to go back and check on everything, but it did also like make everything take a lot longer because, you know, I just went back and forth within the scenes and like checked everything and kind of screenshotted everything to kind of make sure that everything's in the right place. And it is hard to figure these things out if you're working from a movie reference, and especially with the floor plans, because like in this case, again, it was like so hard for me to figure out the floor plan because I mean, this whole movie is set in this house, basically, almost everything. And you can see them like going there, and then they're using these stairs, and then they're like going up there, and then there's another set of stairs there, and it's just like, what, like, where are they coming from? How is this all like fitting together? And it took me so long to figure out the floor plan to make everything also make sense, you know, and functional for The Sims for you to play in. And it did take a while, but I managed to do it, I think. Like, everything should work fine. And there's a lot of stairs there, so, but it makes sense because it's a very big house. So anyway, yeah, so now we're on to the kitchen. And like I said, it's a huge room. And you can even see, like here, I will change up the layout of the kitchen because I figured out later, like while building, they have a little, like attached to the kitchen. So from some of the screenshots that you find online, you can see that there's, from a certain angle, you can see that there's an opening that kind of leads to another room, which is kind of attached to the kitchen. And it also has like cabinets and that kind of stuff. So in the beginning, I thought that's just another part of the kitchen. But with looking back at the movie, I found out that it's not. It's actually like a little mud room, you know. And they must have another door, like a back door there. Because you can see like people come in, and so yeah, that does make sense, especially when Susanna and her daughter, they come in, and they do, you see a little bit of that, of the room. And so yeah, I will change that in a minute. So the layout will be a little bit different, but that did actually help because it made the kitchen a little bit smaller. And yeah, it was just like, it is so big, but it is actually that big. Like, it's a massive kitchen. And I assume this is a fairly old house, and I think in the kitchen they have a stove, which is a very old, like iron kind of stove. And I did include that, and in the beginning I thought that was like the actual stove, but I think it's just like an old kind of item that they had in the original house, and it's out of use, you know, it's not functional anymore, so they just kept it because in the movie you can see there's like all sorts of stuff like piled on there. I think there's a microwave on the stove, like this old kind of stove. So I don't think they use it anymore. It's probably just out of use, and yeah, it doesn't work. So I did that, and they do have another stove. I did see that. So yeah, I think the kitchen, it's probably one of the rooms that you see the most in the whole movie. So yeah, and there's like a bunch of like weird, cool, weird kind of stuff that, you know, while building I was like, what? You know, is that like, is this for real? For example, they do have a computer in the kitchen, which is like, who has a computer in the kitchen? They have, so in the beginning of the movie, you can see the mom, Sybil, sitting in the kitchen in an armchair. Like, she has this massive armchair in the kitchen at a kitchen table, which is another thing that's like so weird, but it's so cool too. And she's sitting at a computer. And yeah, so they have a computer in the kitchen. And there's like a bunch of other things that are just like, you know, they're just like, it's a cool house. It is definitely like, it has this, its own charm, and it is actually pretty untidy. Like, every room is like, there's stuff everywhere, you know, there's like stuff piled upon each other, and it is really untidy, like, but it doesn't really look like it. It just looks charming and homely and just like lived in and that kind of stuff, you know, very cozy, and it's just beautiful. Like, it's such a beautiful interior, and I really love it. It's very eclectic, I would say, and that's definitely like my kind of vibe. I love that kind of stuff, and I think they probably, especially when it comes to like wallpaper and flooring and that kind of stuff, they probably didn't do a lot when it comes to that for a long time. I assume that's what it's meant to be like, that they had this house for a long time, obviously, and almost all of the wallpapers would still be like, you know, like they were when they purchased the house, or like at least, well, for the most part, you know. So yeah, for example, like you can see in the kids' rooms, you can see in Ben's room, he has a little like kids wallpaper with, I think he has like cars or anything, something like that on it. And Amy's room as well, I think she has like ballerinas or something on her wallpaper. Everett's room, not so much. He has just a plain wallpaper. But I don't know, maybe, you know, Everett is a little bit more of a, yeah, I don't know, down-to-earth kind of guy, so that might have been his wallpaper all along. So yeah, that's just kind of what I mean. And you just see like a mix of color everywhere. And here there's like this super cute seating area in the kitchen. They have this bay window next to the dining table, in the kitchen table, and it's just covered with pillows, and I mean, it just looks like a place where I want to sit, you know. I want to sit there and lounge and just like chill and talk to my family and that kind of stuff. It's just, don't you agree? It's just so cozy, and yeah, I absolutely love it. And yeah, you can see now the kitchen took me so long, and I think it is because of figuring out the layout. You know, it was pretty hard for me. And, you know, I kind of kept going through the movie and going through the scenes, because there are several scenes in the kitchen. I did even try to kind of recreate some of the scenes with The Sims, which you saw a little bit of in the beginning, and you will see a little bit of that in the cinematic shots in the end. Yeah, so I kept going back and forth, and you know, you keep finding stuff, and then, you know, looking at it for the 10th time, I was like, oh no, it's not like that. It's like, I don't know, the stove's over here and not over there, and I don't know, you know, that kind of stuff. So that took me a little while, and like I said, I'm also this kind of crazy person that has to make everything perfect. I even made this little like fruit basket that they have like hanging from the ceiling, and I just created that, you know, using some of these like sticks that came with toddler pack, and then just some of the fruit baskets that we have in game, and yeah, that kind of stuff. So anyway, that takes a long time to do it like that, you know? So yeah, I was actually thinking while building this, because, you know, it just takes too long, you know? It's like, I mean, I don't always build houses this big, and I don't always build houses from a movie, which is a challenge like within itself. But if I do, you know, I just have to, I really want to start being a little more loose, you know, because sometimes I try to figure out one piece of furniture that we just don't have like an exact dupe in game. Obviously we don't, like, why would we, you know? So I try to figure that out by, you know, like using a bunch of different like cabinets and like tables and that kind of stuff, so just stacking them on top of each other, then using shelving, and I just try and create like this piece of furniture that to make it look exactly like in the movie. And just working on one piece of furniture like that can take me hours, you know, or maybe not hours, but like half an hour, and that's a long time, you know. It's like, and here I'm working like on yeah, I'm trying to kind of recreate this little cabinet that they have there. And this is only like the final piece. And before that, which I cut out because it took so long, I tried like 100 different things, you know. And yeah, it just takes too long. And I will try for the next year. It's one of my New Year's resolutions probably. I will try to just take it a little bit more loosely, you know, and just you know, if I don't find something like within a couple of minutes, I will just go with it, you know, and I will try to do that anyway. We'll see how it goes, but I have to do that because it's just you know, I can't work on a house for like days and days, and I mean, it is fun, but you know, there's other things that you have to do in life, you know. So anyway, so yeah, here I'm working on the fridge, and the fridge is actually super cute because they have, that's another thing, they have that everywhere. They have like these paintings that are from kids, you know, probably from Susanna's daughter, Elizabeth, and they have like postcards everywhere, especially on the fridge, and I had so much fun doing that, and I absolutely love it. I think I will be doing that more often, like in more builds, even if it's not from a movie reference, because I just love the look of having like stuff attached to the fridge, and it makes sense. Like, you know, a lot of people have that because it's magnetic, you know, and it doesn't bother the Sims, you know. They would just use the fridge. It doesn't do anything, so why not, you know? So yeah, so here's the mudroom, what I was talking about, and they do have laundry in there. I'm pretty sure you can see that in one of the scenes, which is why it makes sense that there's like other cabinets in there, and they do actually have another fridge in there as well. So it was so funny, you know, looking back at all of those scenes. I was like, you know, with every scene, it was like, oh, that's what there is, you know, and it was like, it was so much fun, and it's really like cool to kind of discover a house in so much detail. And well, you can definitely see in this movie that this is an actual house, you know, it's not a set, it's an actual house. That is, you can see that because that is why you see so much of the house, I'm pretty sure. You even see like the stairway and so much, you know, and you see the rooms from so many different angles, which doesn't usually happen in movies or series, because you would have a set and you would only have this one opening, you know, and this one angle of the room. And yeah, it definitely makes for a big part of the charm of this movie, in my opinion. So yeah, that's definitely a super cool thing, and I'm really happy that I did just look back at the movie in so much detail, because yeah, I think you can see like the homeliness of the house and the whole like feel of the house that you can see in the movie. I think you can see that in the build, at least a little bit, I think. And I'm really happy about that. Like, that's what I wanted to achieve, and I think I did. Like, I will say one thing. Like, I just wanted to say I would love to play in this with my Sims, like myself, but aside from the fact that I don't play the game ever, it is a little bit annoying because you have the detailing that I did at the exterior. You will have that in the way, you know, it will like hover in the air because I couldn't figure out how to make it attached to the you know, to the first floor, so that it, you know, kind of disappears when you go to the ground floor. I couldn't really figure that out, so it will be like floating all over. So I'm very sorry about that, but anyway, so we're onto the living room now. And another thing I found, like, looking at all of these houses, I did, last year, I did the McAllister's house from Home Alone, which is also, like, such a beautiful home. And then, like, last week, I did the Griswold's house, which is also such a beautiful house. And one thing that all of these, like, American houses from these, like, Christmas movies seem to have is they have these arches in like a lot of the rooms, and they don't have real doors. So at least it doesn't look like they do, you know. It's like I don't know, like in the living room it looks like they have two archways leading into the living room, and there's no doors, which I don't know. I mean, it looks great, but thinking about it, for me, isn't there gonna be draft? You know, it's like, I don't know, just like thinking about it, I would feel like there has to be like some sort of air coming through, no? It's like, don't you want to like close the door at some point, maybe, especially if you have like a fire going on? I don't know, but maybe it just looks like that, and they do actually have doors there just open all the time. I don't know, but it sure looks like there's just archways there. And I do find that, like, let me know in the comments if that's like an American type thing, if that's like an American architectural style kind of, because I'm pretty sure it's not really a thing here in Germany. Like we would have like open spaces for sure, but there would be doors, you know, unless it's like everything's open, like you have like a whole open floor plan, but then there wouldn't be walls and there wouldn't be archways too, you know. So other than that, you would have doors, we would have openings as well, but you would be able to close the door if you wanted to. So at least from houses that I know, that's how it is. And let me know about you. Like, have you ever seen a house like that? Or is that just a, I don't know, very expensive, kind of super fancy house kind of thing? I don't know. What do you think? Let me know in the comments. So yeah, we're still working on the living room, and they have so many chairs in this house. I mean, it does make sense because it's a big family, you know. They have, so there's like Sybil and Kelly, which are like the parents, and you have, so there's Amy and Susanna and Ben and Thad, I think that's his name, and Everett. So they have 5 kids, and Susanna has a daughter, Elizabeth, and she has a husband as well, and Thad has a husband as well. So there's like 3 more people there. And then Everett, now he has Meredith, so he is kind of, you know, in a situation there. So it makes sense to have like a lot of seating there. But still, like, and there's a lot of like armchairs and that kind of stuff. I always wonder, like, where do they get that? Like, where do they keep it? You know, it's like, I don't know. Every room seems to have like so many chairs, but yeah, anyway, it's super cozy and it looks absolutely wonderful. And again, like with the couches, they have like so many pillows and they just look like really like a loungy kind of couch situation, you know, where you could like take a nap. And yeah, it's just, I mean, overall, like in general, it's just such a beautiful house. And yeah, I really just love the style and everything's very like it is matching, but it is still like kind of how do I put that? It's a little bit mix and match as well. You know, it's kind of like it does match because it has like this eclectic kind of style. So that kind of means that it doesn't match in a way. You know, does that make sense? Maybe it doesn't, but I hope you know what I mean. So anyway, I do love that kind of style, and I think it makes this house look very homely and very inviting. And yeah, I think I would feel very comfortable in that house for sure. So now we're working on the den, and that is the room where they play charades. And that is one room that actually has a door, which I thought in the beginning that this room also didn't have a door. But it just seems to be open all the time. So I did actually include a door. I just used Tool to kind of rotate the door and attach it to the archway so that it looks like a door. So yeah, this is the room where they play charades. And oh, that's just such a funny scene. And it's yeah, I mean, Meredith, you know, she is an interesting character, and she is very well, I don't want to say, like, she is a bit uptight. She seems that way, certainly. And it is probably a good thing that she ends up with Ben, you know? And yeah, so he can help her relax a little, you know? But yeah, I don't know. She is a very special, unique kind of character. And Sarah Jessica Parker just plays her so well. I think yeah, the role's just kind of perfect for her. And yeah, she's just very good in it. And yeah, this scene, you know, where she's just like, she has such a hard time fitting into this family. And that scene specifically, it's kind of like, you know, she does this thing and you're like, you know, that's not something you should do. But at the same time, you kind of feel sorry for her because she obviously didn't mean it in a bad kind of way, but it just comes across as like, you know, very weird. And like, you're gonna be like, no, that's not good, you know, but still you kind of feel sorry for her because she wants to be like, you know, a good person, and she wants to be like, well, she wants to be nice to everybody and, you know, to fit into the family. And she's just trying so hard, you know, she's trying a little too hard, you know, so that's probably why she does like so many things that are, you know, taken the wrong way. So yeah, anyway, so working on the den again, that took so long because I was trying to figure out like some of the furniture that they have, which they just have a lot of like unique kind of furniture pieces, in my opinion, that look like antique or I don't know, like maybe they're thrifted or whatever, but they're very unique kind of furniture, in my opinion anyway. That's what they look like. And yeah, then again, they have this all kind of mix and match kind of style. And then here, for example, they have all these chairs everywhere and the couches and everything, and they have this kind of desk, like there's a laptop on there, so I'm assuming it's a desk. And they have, that took me so long to figure that out, but they have a bench there. There's no like chair, at least in that scene, but there's a bench, you know, so that is so interesting too. It's so weird, but also like so cool, you know? And yeah, so I just used a table in the end, and probably like a coffee table, and kind of used it to, you know, to make it look like it's a bench. because it's just a plain wooden bench, you know, we don't really have that in game, so I used a table. So it's not going to be functional as a seat, but I figured, you know, there's so many seating, like, situations there, you know, you have so many places to sit that it doesn't really matter, you know, and there's like computers and laptops in this house, and you know, you will be able to find a place, and if not, you know, you can just put the laptop somewhere else. So yeah, and here again I made this table which kind of looks like I don't know, like an oriental kind of type, like Egyptian or kind of that kind of style, and yeah, it's just so interesting. Everything's just mixed, and it just makes for such a lovely kind of mixture, like furniture-wise in the house, I think anyway. So yeah. So I am actually showing you, I will be done with the den in a minute, I think, and then after that, I think after that I'm gonna show you the master bedroom, and then I think that might be the last room that I'm showing you. I could be, oh no, the dining room will be first. And that's the only 2 more rooms I'm pretty sure that I'm showing you, which means that there is like 1, 2, 3, 4 more rooms, plus there's 5 bathrooms in this house. And I'm not showing you any of that because this video already is almost 50 minutes long. So I figured, you know, those are like the most important rooms kinda, and yeah, like the Ben's room and Everett's room, they are nice, you know. You can see a little bit in the cinematic shots. You will see like more pictures on my Instagram. If you don't follow me, go ahead and do that, because you will see more pictures of that, of all the rooms on my Instagram. But yeah, you know, they're not like super interesting, and they're not like that important to the movie. That's kind of the way I was thinking, you know, because you can see a lot of the kitchen, you can see a lot of the living room, fairly bit of the den and the dining room, and then for Everett's room and Ben's room, it's only, I think, 1 scene, maybe 2 for Ben's room, but you don't see a lot of it, you know. And Amy's room, again, it's just 1 scene, which Amy's room does look pretty cool, you know, but it's like on the underneath the roof, but still, it's just, you know, it's not that like essential to the movie, which is why I decided not to include it, in order to not make this video like unbearably long, you know. So I hope you're okay with that. I'm pretty sure you will be. And yeah, so this is the dining room, and God, I'm just thinking back on the movie, on those scenes, and God, by the way, like those movies, the other day I was watching 2 Christmas movies in a row, 2 of my absolute favorite ones, which is The Family Stone, and then Noelle, which is a Disney movie that I think came out last year, and it's with Anna Kendrick, and it's so good. Like, it's such a good movie. I absolutely love it, and I watched the both of them like right after each other, and I was crying my eyes out. Like, I was literally sobbing. I'm not even joking. Like, it's just, there's something about Christmas movies. They're just so wholesome, you know, and you have these like, I don't know, these moments in Christmas movies. Yeah, I don't know, there's just something about Christmas movies and the spirit of Christmas, you know, and especially in Noelle, like she has like this speech in the end, and it's very like, I don't know, I really don't know what it is exactly, but it just makes me feel like crying. I don't know, I'm just, but I cry a lot. Like, it's a thing for me, like watching movies, I will cry. Like, even watching Star Wars, you know, just like from hearing the music in the beginning, I will cry. It's, just a very emotional person, okay? So, anyway, so this is the dining room, like I said, and I did actually start like because I was realizing how long it's taking me to finish this build, I did actually start in this room already to kind of loosen it up a little bit and just cut myself some slack and not try and make everything like perfect and exactly like in the movie. And so I used this jungle adventure cabinet, which you don't see anything like that, like really in the movie, I don't think. And yeah, I didn't really check back on the room that much. I didn't really check back on the movie that much for this room specifically. And yeah, I just was like, you know, I just want to have fun building also, you know, and I just kind of try to make it look like it fits the vibe of the house and it makes sense, you know, the way that I build it. And of course also like, so it's functional, you know, so yeah, and this is the master bedroom, and there's this beautiful scene where I mean, if you haven't seen the movie, you probably shouldn't watch this video because there are spoilers, which maybe I should have said that before, but anyway, so in this scene, it's so lovely, you know, the mother of the house, of the family stone, Sybil, she is sick, so she has cancer. I assume it's breast cancer, and she will die actually. So she knows that, and she knows that it's kind of like her last Christmas, and with the whole family. So I mean, I'm sure you all know that because it's just such a great Christmas movie. And there's this scene where she's just like taking a nap. And they're kind of trying to hide it from the kids, from the children. The kids, they're not really kids, but like, you know, they're children. And Susanna, the one with the daughter, she kind of suspects something. And then she goes into the room and just like lays down beside her mother and, you know, just kind of hugs her and, yeah, just a little bit. And yeah, it's just such a wonderful scene and so touching, you know, and just like a grown daughter, like kind of being there for her mother and being a support and yeah, you know, just being a big girl, you know, if that makes sense. And it's just wonderful. It's a wonderful scene, and that makes me cry as well, if I'm being completely honest. And it's also such a wonderful room. Like, it's so, I think they have this wonderful, like, yellow cabinet there, or like a closet, I don't know, which is the one that I'm building now. And it looks like it is probably some sort of furniture from, I don't know, like from somewhere. I don't know from where, but it does look like it's kind of oriental in a way. Maybe I'm wrong, I'm really not an expert in furniture, but it does look kind of like something that you would maybe see, I don't know, maybe even like a Turkish kind of style. I'm not sure, but anyway, so I tried recreating that because it's just such a special piece of furniture and I really wanted it to be included in this room. So I used, what did I use? I used those side tables that came with the Paranormal stuff pack, I think. And then the closet that came with, I think, City Living. I'm not exactly sure, but I think that's what it came with. And I just kind of stacked them on top of each other. And I used wool, these little wool balls that we have from Nifty Knitting, and made it look like, because I turned the cabinet around, the closet around, so that you don't see, because in the front it has like these flowers, and I didn't really, it was very colorful, and I didn't really want that, so I turned it around and used the wool balls to make it look like they're like knobs, you know, for the doors. So yeah, that's what I did there. And yeah, just I think like that's kind of what I'm doing now, like finishing up the master bedroom. And they do have an ensuite bathroom, and Ben actually also has an ensuite bathroom in his room, which is crazy. And I just assumed that Amy might as well, because she's on, you know, she's like way up there, and maybe they build another bathroom up there later on. And then there's another like bathroom on the first floor for the whole family. and there's like a powder room on the ground floor. And yeah, so that's pretty much like it. Like that's everything there is. And it's a big house. Like it is actually 3 stories, which is very rare for me to build something 3 stories. And there's also like up there, because I wanted it to look like an attic kind of on the 2nd floor. There is like an attic space there where I just put like a bunch of stuff, so it kind of looks like, you know, there's a place where they're like keeping everything they don't need, you know. And yeah, so that's kind of it for this video. It's weird because we're not going outside. This is the end. So yeah, I very much hope that you enjoyed the video. If you did, make sure to give it a like and subscribe to my channel if you haven't already. Please enjoy the cinematic shots in the end, and I will see you in the next video. Bye!
Hear the sleigh bells, it's Christmas. Hear the sleigh bells, it's Christmas time. It's Christmas time. Grab your coat, it's getting cold. Just look at the falling snow. There's season's greetings, happy meetings, oh, and a little bit of mistletoe. They're decorating the Christmas tree with a star up top for you and me. Can you hear the sleigh bells? It's Christmas time. It's Christmas time. Way up north, they're making toys for every little girl and boy who mailed in letters, 'cause they've been better, so much better than the year before. Santa's crossing off every wish, even moms and dads have made the list. Can you hear the sleigh bells? It's Christmas time. The sound of sleigh bells on reindeer only come this time of year. With Dasher, Dancer, Prancer, and Vixen, run, run, Rudolph, all you will be missed when Santa Claus gets his paws on his red sleigh. When his elves hear the shouts, he'll go flying on his merry way. He's spreading joy all along the route, all around the world in one night. Can you hear the sleigh bells? It's Christmas. Run, run, Rudolph, all you will be missed when Santa Claus gets his paws on his red sleigh. When his elves hear the shouts, he'll go flying on his merry way. He's spreading joy all along the route, all around the world in one night. Can you hear the sleigh bells? It's Christmas. Hear the sleigh bells? It's Christmas. Hear the sleigh bells? It's Christmas time. Oh, can we give it one more time?
Merry Christmas!